good morning and welcome back again. And the title of this little segment is A Nice Day to Crown a King, because the headlines this morning are all about the fact that Harry is going to come to the coronation, and that's made doing all the arrangements better, and the king is delighted that his son is going to be there. But Meghan ain't coming. Oh, dear me, no. She is making her little protest. I think this woman is actually cutting off her nose to spite her face. She really is, because she wants this grandeur. And with all due respect, Hollywood starlets do not last. She needs Harry and his position to support her ego and what she wants to be seen as, and how well she wants to be known in the world, and so on and so forth. And she's really not playing a game very well. Not playing it very well at all. But anyway, it is enough to drive a man to drink. And wait a minute. A couple of things that before we do anything else, we need to do today. One is that we should tell you what the weather is, first of all. Good morning. This is Mirador Television, and this is totally unscheduled. Behind this picture of Parkinson's disease is me. And what's more, I've got Parkinson's. Oh, yes, I have. And that's why I thought I was just pottering around this morning. And if you try to see me picking something up, it's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. I have to flip it against the wall so that I can get some leverage. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's my computer, whether it's a pin, whether it's a pen, or whether it's a £5 note. That's a rarity in itself. But I just wanted to have a quick word to make an appeal on behalf of Parkinson's and Parkinson's sufferers. I don't want you to send me any money or this station any money. We're very bad at handling money. We get ourselves into all sorts of trouble trying to handle money. But please send some donations to Parkinson's, because it is the forgotten. It is the forgotten disease, and it's debilitating, and it's frightening, and it's scary. A lot of famous people have had it. Billy Graham, Michael J. Fox, Muhammad Ali, the Big In, whose name I remembered a moment ago and I've forgotten now. That's a sign of Parkinson's. You start to get a little bit of dementia. Not a great deal, but some. But Neil Diamond. There are lots of famous people who have Parkinson's, and I know a few who fight it. That's the point. It's really a positive way of thinking. I am very positive. It ain't going to get me. I've had it for almost 10 years now. And yes, I'm worse now 10 years later than I was 10 years ago. But I'm still not as bad as everybody thought I would be. Yeah, I shuffle. I have difficulty walking. I don't have difficulty holding a glass of wine or a pint, I'll tell you that. But basically, I look at it in a very positive way because each morning when I take a pill, which I have to take, I say to Parkinson's, bugger off. Just get away from me. Go away. And it does for a day. I'm able to function almost normally. I get up at 5:30 in the morning. I'm 83. I get up at 5:30 in the morning. I've got Parkinson's. I get myself ready. Off I go, and I start a television. Well, I start preparing a television thing at about 7:15. Sorry. Yeah, I get up at 5:15. At 7:15 in the morning at the White Hart Hotel in Lewis, and then at 8:30 I go on the air. Okay, it's only on the internet, it's only on broadband, it's only on social media, but nonetheless it gets to enough people to count. And I run a television operation, a television channel, and I often say, "Come on, get behind Parkinson's." This one is specific. Get behind Parkinson's. That's what I'm saying to you. Get behind Parkinson's. Let's see if we can. Yeah, there. Right. That's what's happening to the inside of the body, even though on the outside it doesn't look too bad. At least for some. Some people shake. Some people have difficulty lifting their feet. Some people have all sorts of manifestations of Parkinson's. But basically, I tell it to bugger off. And then I spend 3 hours in front of the camera each morning, steering through all sorts of people with all sorts of interesting things. For what? 3,000 people? Only probably about 50 watching at any given time. But does it matter? No, it does not, because I believe passionately in what I do. And in believing passionately what I do, I'm able to shut off the fact that I've got Parkinson's. So please, what I'm saying to you is, there's no formal appeal. They don't even know I'm doing it. Please send money to Parkinson's. Yeah, you can send £3 to a puppy, or you can see £3 to a lion, or you can see £3 to a child in distress, and all those things are very worthy. But Parkinson's does tend to hit you later in life, and it's us oldies that get forgotten a lot of the time. Well, we ain't forgotten. We have a voice, and we make it heard every day, and I make it heard to Parkinson's. Bugger off, I tell it, and it helps. I don't know that it buggers off totally. No, it doesn't. Of course it doesn't. I've still got it. But I do take a positive attitude towards it. And I would ask you to take a positive attitude towards it. Just send them a few bob. That's all. That's all, just to help the research. This one I saw where if I started to do Irish jigs, it would help. Well, if that's the sort of research that's being done, God bless it. Why not? Let's try an Irish jig. Not right now. It's breakfast time. Anyway, this is Keith Hayes of Mirador Television saying to you, please, 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 will you consider giving some cash to Parkinson's? Give it a go. It's a disease that is forgotten largely in the welter of publicity that you can get about all the diseases that hit people. But some famous people have had it, and some famous people have fought it to the bitter end. I'm going to fight it to the bitter end. Have I got another week? Have I got another day? Have I got another year? Have I got another decade? Oh, God help everybody if I have. But I'm going to fight it. For as long as I've got left, I'm going to fight it. Why don't you help me? Run alongside me. All right? Give it a little bit of something. Even if you just wake up in the morning and tell Parkinson's to bugger off. I would urge you, don't forget it. That's the main thing. Toodle pip. Well, it's enough to drive a man to drink. It really is enough to drive a man to drink. And is I've got Liza Page in 20 minutes or so, and no, she's not enough to drive a man to drink, but she certainly stimulates the mind with her alternative views, which, as I said earlier, she researches very carefully, right or wrong. She reaches her stuff, and she has a conviction of a well-read and well briefed lady, presenter, if you like, and she is very articulate in what she believes and what she's asking us to at least consider. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to all this coronation stuff is it is enough to drive a man to drink, and so I think that it is time for us to just take a little moment or two and consider just how important drink is in the scheme of things. Even though it's only 9:45 in the morning, is one has to think about these things for the rest of the day. So here we go with a little something about booze, just for 10 or 15 minutes or so.
Over the road from the shops, held up by ship's timbers, is the Gardener's Arms. There seems to be a tradition in Lewes, although no one admits to it, of omitting the epithet pub or tavern. This pub is called by locals simply the Gardener's. And the Gardener's it was. The origins of this pub go back to when it was an ordinary house, owned by a gardener. Often, after work, he would invite other gardeners into his front room for a drink. Eventually, it made sense to formalize the ritual, so it turned into a pub. The Gardener's is a true pub. Unusual now, it only serves pork pies and sausage rolls. Yet each year it's in the top tier of finalists for Pub of the Year. Stood proudly on the riverbanks. Harvey's Brewery, the key industry of the town. The bloody high street of a tiny town.
You'd think the old man would give up pubs for Lent or something, wouldn't you? Well, think on. He even gets absorbed in how the pubs were in January's time. Luddite.
Flanked by the church, the rectory, and the people's homes, stands the inn. In its shade and beneath its roof, men of all degrees and of all opinions meet in comradeship and comfort. Walk through any English market town and you'll find the inn at the center of its life. On market day, The people from the country around meet there to discuss the trend of prices, their children's health and their home affairs. It's the same in the villages. When the sun warms the earth, they sit outside and watch the world go by. At the English inn today, there is a hospitality that to the host is just as much a sacred charge as it was to the monks and barons in the Middle Ages, who first gave bread and ale to travellers. Often the only sanctuary in out-of-the-way parts, the monasteries had a lodge open to pilgrims and other wayfarers. Later, these lodges became separate establishments and were eventually run as inns, under such signs as the Pilgrim's Inn. One example of monastic origin is the Bull, which gets its name from the papal bull, or bill, not the animal. These inns of England have seen history happen in their yards. Pilgrims and warriors have trodden their stairways. Here, medieval knights refreshed themselves on their journeys to the Crusades, to fight under the banner of St. George. The inns have preserved much of England's architecture. The early inn has preserved some of the finest carvings and treasures. Like the church, it was a sanctuary. Hence, most of these carvings have a religious meaning.
English sparkling wines are beginning to win an enviable reputation across the globe, and that reputation is turning into sales. British supermarket chain Waitrose has reported a 188% increase in sales of English sparkling wine last year, and that trend is expected to continue. The soil and climatic conditions in southern England are remarkably similar to those of the Champagne region in France. So much so that leading French champagne house Taittinger has bought land in Kent and has begun producing English sparkling wine. But the owners of English vineyards are not prepared to take second place. Ridgeview Estate Wines in Ditchling has been producing English sparkling wine since 1994. And recently, the company received the prestigious accolade of having its wine served by the Queen to Chinese Premier Xi Jinping at a state dinner. Ridgeview is a family business which has a strong sense of history when it comes to its products. The vineyard's trademark is Merit, named in honour of Englishman Christopher Merritt. This wine pioneer made a presentation to the Royal Society in London in 1662, explaining the process of making sparkling wines. That was 30 years before the French began producing champagne. Last year, Ridgeview produced a bumper crop and has similar ambitions for this year. The product can be seen at a variety of produce events in the region, notably Brighton and Hove's Food and Drink Fair in May. And the winemaker plans to repeat the success of last year when it introduced its range of sparkling wines to New Yorkers. Want to check out the claims that Ridgeview makes? There are plenty of stockists within the Lewes district. As one might suspect, it's available at Harvey's, but also Larder in Ditchling, Middle Farm on the road to Eastbourne, and of course the English Wine Centre at Drusilla's Roundabout. These successes have created a rush to develop new vineyards in Sussex. Licence applications last year were up by 40%. It's not just sparkling wines that are gaining a reputation. Still wines have also been around a long time. Both are now beginning to take the French market by storm, as demonstrated by the French purchase of acreage in Kent. The key question now is if growth will mean a larger and more expansive English wine industry, or a homegrown luxury product suitable for big and glittering occasions. For the moment, only time will tell. Trevor, where's my drink? Ladder Daniels of South Downs Television at Ridgeview Vineyards, tasting a true competitor of French champagne. So next up on Food Glorious Food, a new way to sell wines in Lewes. Symposium has a friendly, laid-back atmosphere with staff who clearly have a passion for wine. Symposium has a limited range of Sussex wines, but what they have is top draw, and its range of quality grape types is within most budgets. Whether it's the cheese and meat platter, a single malt scotch, crunchy local bread or a glass or two of decent claret, this wine bar has found a unique way to sell its wines. And in today's world of big is better, the Symposium has found its niche.
Hey guys! In this video I'll show you how to prepare at home an incredible liquor. It's gin. For this you need 1 liter of 50% alcohol, 17 grams of juniper, berries must be navy blue and I've slashed them with rolling pin. Then you need 7 grams of coriander seeds, 2.5 gram of orange peel, 1.5 gram of lemon peel, 1.5 gram of cassia bark, and a pinch of hyssop, a pinch of anise, a pinch of fennel, a pinch of licorice. Fill up the jar with alcohol and all ingredients and shake it. I let it infuse for about 6 days in the dark place, shaking it every day. After 7 days of infusing, it's time to distill it. I gotta use a simple moonshine still. I've dismounted a metal gauze from the shelf for better flavoring. By using a gauze, I filter the infusion into the boiler and add water. You need to get a 33% ABV liquor. The smell is incredible. Let's start distilling. I've set up a simple moonshine still, so only the cool box is working. Temperature's rising and I see first drops. I separate about 20 milliliters of 4 shots just for safe. I've set out the range at 1000 watts and start separating of gin. It's already half a liter, so let's check out the smell. It's very fresh. It's like a smell of fur. I've got about 600 milliliters and an alcoholometer reads 42% ABV. Let's stop separating, cause we have tails. ABV of gin is equal to 67%. I stretch it till 45%, leave for 1 week and test it. Let's start testing our homemade gin. It's stretched to 45% and it was infused for 12 days. First of all, I'll test it in pure form. The aroma is very rich. It has nice, tender and harmonious aroma. The main player in flavor development is juniper. Not strong odor, but it's mild. And the juniper is contrasted with coriander. Let's taste. This also holds true for the taste. Taste is tender and mild. It's not a strong kind of gin. This one is tender and mild. I like it in pure form. So now let's test how tasty it's with tonic. I'll make a classic G&T in the ratio of 1 to 2. Well, let's taste.
Like a good teller desk.
Yeah.
Some like when you had dinner.
We only need 5 minutes.
Delicious. Now I know how I drink it.
After you've had dinner, pour a nice bottle of pepper.
Incredible combination. You can feel light bitterness, but it's just the right taste. It goes very light. The ratio of 1 to 2 is nice. Taste it. You know you can drink it all cause it's silky and freshalizing. As for me, the combination of this gin with Schweppes tonic is ideal. In conclusion, I'd like to say that I like this recipe very much. The combination of gin and Schweppes tonic is delicious. The taste of G&T is tender and it combines with all the herbs very nice. Just try to make it by yourself, guys. Thanks for watching this video. Thumbs up for new recipes, subscribe to my channel. See ya!
You see what I mean about driving a man to drink? Here, we totally forgot that we could be heard. This
Well, we
watching
just
gin
know.
is Lewis needs a new nightclub. That's what it needs.
Yeah, it's a good jazz club.
Yeah,
you know,
there we
with
are.
some,
There we are. Actually, we better take a look at the cellar in this hotel, I think. This would be the place to get it going, wouldn't it?
Wow. I don't know so much.
Right. Okay. Now we're going to take a 5-minute break, and then Liza is going to be back with her the alternative view, and we'll look forward to seeing you in a let's see, perhaps 7 minutes time at 10 past. It's a date. 10 past. Date with her, not with me. Who wants a date with me? Oops, who's that? Toodles.